According to the National Association of Realtors, existing home sales slipped almost 6% in March to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 4.02 million. Now, sales slowed almost 2.5% year over year. That's the slowest pace for a March since 2009. And we were in the Great Recession then.
That's right. But what does it look like in Arizona and the Valley specifically? Let's talk to a local expert. Tina Tamboer is the senior housing analyst with the Cromford Report, which tracks the Valley's residential resale market.
Tina, in the western region of the country, the National Association of Realtors says the existing home sales went down 9.4% in March. We didn't see anything like that here, did we?
No, actually, we were up a little bit, about 3% from March. Not exactly, impressive, but we did not drop nearly that much. And we're not remotely close to 2009, or we're more like 2014 here. And here's the thing about 2009. Our bottom was actually 2008. So in 2009, our sales soared 80% from March of 2008 to March of 2009 because of first-time homebuyer credits. There was a foreclosure crisis, if you remember that. And so it's a completely different market altogether. I mean, the homes were not in good shape. Remember those days? Like, did you want an air conditioner with your house? Right. I mean, that was stolen last week,
Along with all the copper pipes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you didn't want a kitchen, did you? It was like everything needed a remodel. They had, back in the day, first-time homebuyers were doing, renovation loans as their first loan. It was a very, very unique market. The homes on the market today are in excellent condition. The lending environment completely different.
Yeah, it was also interesting as this report shows that the region with the highest median sale price was the West at $621,000. That's more than double the median price for a home sale in the Midwest. I'm guessing that number is being driven by other places like California and maybe Washington State.
That's very possible. It could also be that we have a little more new home construction out here, and they always tend to, elevate our prices, especially per square foot. But our median price so far for the month of April is bouncing around that 445, 460 range. Last month it was 460,000, with a very broad range, of course. But for many people, it's going to be all about mortgage rates. And so the big difference between the 2008 crash and this one was the collapse of the lending industry. We do not have a collapse of lending, but we did have back then rates went, if you can remember this, 6.5% in 2008. We're like, how will we ever survive?
Right.
And then it dropped to 5% by 2009. So that really definitely spurred quite a bit of demand. So we're sitting here kind of in a holding pattern for sales. The minute those mortgage rates, if we do hit a recession, that typically is the beginning of a recovery for housing, ironically enough. And we'll probably see those rates come down and see some added demand in the housing market.
I'm going to make you put your prognosticator's hat on, which I know everybody hates to do, but I love to put pressure on people. Because there was a period of time when we were seeing mortgage interest rates like in the twos, and we're not going to get there again, are we? I mean, if we are, I'm going to hold my breath here.
I mean, that forever is extreme. I don't believe we're going to see that for a very long time. I have major trust issues with the mortgage rates. We've had so many times of hope.
You and everybody else.
Years, Hope is the first step to disappointment, right?
Yes.
So we just say, the only mortgage rate that matters is the one we have. But if we do hit recession, oftentimes those recessions come with lower mortgage rates as the Federal Reserve kicks in and makes some adjustments. If that does happen, typically housing is the first one to recover. Oftentimes we're the first to come down. We've already had our recession, if you will, in the housing industry, and we're the first to come out.
All right. Always great stuff. Thanks a lot, Tina. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you, stepping up to the pressure that Donna's putting on everybody now that comes on the air. Nobody's going to want to come back on with us anymore. You know that, by the way.
I'm the bad one.
And I have to say, $440,000 or so for the median sale price of a home in the Valley sounds really great compared to 621,000 for the Western region as a whole.
Right.
That's still shocking to a lot of people who've lived here a long time.
It's shockingly high, but remember, you have high prices in Paradise Valley and Scottsdale and things like that that are pushing that median price up because it's half the homes are above that number, half the homes are below that number.
Yeah, I'm thinking some people are, going to push out so far that we'll end up, the valley will extend to Barstow eventually at some point or another. Right now, let's...
You don't want to do that.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.